And in the bottom left, in the green Protoss, we have Dreamer fighting for Ash. On the map, Sylphid.
Do you know who made this map? Is Latius the author of Neo Sylphid as well? Well, that's great that you
I
know
would have
the
said
authors
Earth
of
Attack
maps.
if I had a guess, but I honestly don't know.
I think one of the great tragedies is most people don't really know or might not even care about who made maps.
I mean, artists put a lot of time into their work.
And
that's why I try to make, like, throw some unique things in the maps.
Maybe we can change that just a little bit. So obviously some of the maps that are most played on in Brood War history, I might remember some of them, besides Hunters. Lost Temple is another Blizzard map like Hunters. BGH, Blizzard. But after Lost Temple, it would be Python, if I'm not mistaken. And then after Python, would it be Fighting Spirit?
Not the final.
Oh, right.
Oh.
And Fighting Spirit is played on all the time in 2v2s, at least in US West server. I mean, I don't think you can even get a game on Circuit Breaker. So it's kind of interesting no matter what kind of new maps come out, even if they're very similar to Fighting Spirit, like standard, comfortable, or whatever, like Polypoid. 2v2s don't really take place on them, at least on US West. I think Koreans might play on different maps more often. Am I wrong, Casimir?
I'm sorry?
Koreans play different maps more than foreigners?
Ah, yeah. Because we have our own Star League for a long time, so we have many maps to play.
True Touch from IRK was saying that Koreans play StarCraft more and they would have more time to play on newer maps, and they're good, they're better, so they would be able to give good games on newer maps. Whereas foreigners play less and they wouldn't be able to give as good games on newer maps because they can't adapt to them. So his complaint to us or suggestion was try to include more comfortable standard maps in your map pool. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I mean, I do find that true, but the only way it would be true if these maps were in like the ASL or other leagues. If they're not, the Koreans aren't gonna. None of our Koreans prepare for their matchups in the Shinhan Tank Pro League.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't even have the maps downloaded.
You're applying that argument, yeah. So you would be a test case there. So that's interesting.
We have many leagues to prepare, so we can't make time to only to prepare the SPL. We cannot make the time.
I like how you both have, or all of you have, a unified position on this matter. It's perfectly legitimate.
Sometimes well, it's been an issue with Kix for years now, is his map choices. Like, sometimes it feels like he hates players.
He's also...
I think he thinks about it. It's worth right things to make SPL on his map, but I don't think so.
I think the map selection has been quite.
I only add Clayfield the last season, and other map is standard map. Of course, Clayfield is good too. Ouch.
I like. What if you can play standard on a new map? If it plays standard, is it fine? Or unless it's like widely.
Would the map have to be, you mean, standard, comfortable,
yeah, like,
simple?
Sometimes it's like hard to find exactly what players want, you know.
I think is this Discord asked the really important
like,
question. What is it that makes a map so standard, comfortable?
Try to meet like certain criteria that all the maps have, but sometimes, you know, it's just the layout difference and the lack of playing mini games on it because you don't have to prepare for it. Yeah,
Well, so I guess the question becomes is, how much can you surprise people with?
Like, you mean what is how much new things amount that you can do?
Yeah. How different can you make a map?
And first you have to determine what that sameness is that you have to conform to, and that's an interesting question. What is it that makes Eclipse and Fighting Spirit, Circuit Breaker, Polypoid easily adaptable? Are all the expansions kind of safe?
Zergs can take a third base easily versus Terran by having one lurker egg on a ramp. There's little criteria like that.
I mean, I've heard somebody say Protoss is dominant on Fighting Spirit, and I've had many Zerg Terran players.
Did you hear Artosa say that? And it looks like we're going to have a little push in here from Green, poking in. LML jumping right on the Reaver, going to take the Reaver out real quick. I think.
That was a good pick.
Duds. Dreamers.
Are they backing off?
Yeah, losing that Reaver was huge. He should be putting pressure on. He has to know that he's up a couple goons. LML did take out Dreamer's Observer.
Oh, well, those don't look like very good trade-offs for Dreamer. Oh, that's because LML is targeting firing now.
Dreamer looks like...
Dreamer's also target firing.
Yeah.
But LML doesn't have a Reaver. Dreamer getting pushed back.
What's that shuttle doing there?
It was for the Reaver. LML throwing a Nexus up behind this Dreamer, not throwing an expansion up. We see 3-gate and a Robo from Dreamer, and I think 2-gate from LML with one Robo. With the Reaver tech on it, another Reaver likely going to be popping off for LML here soon. And again, Dreamer still not expanding. Basically, I think if LML can hold this off and play defensive, he'll be up. Is that LML's trying to snipe the Observer in the top, and he gets it above the natural. Reaver loaded into the shuttle. LML looking like he's going to push out across the map. Dreamer have a shuttle of his own in there, or a Reaver of his own in his shuttle? Not yet.
Do y'all like PvP?
I love PvP.
Yeah, PvP's good.
We got 6 Dragoons and a Reaver in a shuttle moving across from LML. I think about 9 or 10 Dragoons and soon to be a Reaver from Dreamer.
I think if that Reaver gets in place, Dreamer will be in a good spot, but I think he's not going to have that Reaver out.
Dreamer loading up Zealots in his shuttle and then dropping them. I don't know what that was. Dreamer just has too many units. He's going to jump on the shuttle. He's going to jump on the Reaver here. LML's army is just going to get wiped, but LML has an expansion behind this, but does he have units to defend? Does not look like it.
The thing is that Dreamer, LML does have the defender's advantage, so he will be able to reinforce quicker than Dreamer. And I'm guessing there's going to be a Reaver there by the time he gets there, maybe.
He's got 3 gates up now, 2 more gates going down.
Your predictions,
Reaver does
man,
pop
always
up
on point.
with no shuttle.
Does Dreamer have an observer to be able to see what LML has?
There is no observer. Dreamer pushing into LML's natural. Dreamer has way more units, but LML's Reaver's getting some good shots off. Dreamer's Reaver in the back isn't really doing much. It does hit Dragoon, but it should be jumping on those probes.
I mean, the supply looks similar, but LML has 10 more probes.
Yeah, I think Dreamer's going to be able to do a lot of economic damage here.
He only focus fired two probes there. He's running back. LML has the battery shield. He keeps repairing his dragoons.
But if he loses that pylon, it's gonna be useless.
Ooh, going down.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much game.
LML wasn't able to defend, but he does have defensive advantage. He might be able to push back, but he's probably going to lose the Nexus, and that is game. GG. Dreamer takes game 1.
Yeah, LML played pretty good. I'm not really too familiar with him. I'm more familiar with Dreamer. So I guess my prediction would have been that Dreamer takes this series.
LML's old school. I just remember seeing him around back in the days.
Apologize if the observing is not really up to par. I'm trying to do away with logos and all the panels, but I get mixed up and hit the wrong hotkey sometimes. Not click right on the mini map because I'm trying to keep the cursor away from the main screen. Any tips, suggestions? More than welcome. So game 2. In the specified A rank prize show match. If you want to co-cast with us, jump to our Discord channel. I think this is polypoid.
All right.
Game 1 seemed kind of close.
Bottom right. We have LML in the tannest of the tan as the Protoss building a pylon. Representing Red Clan, we have LML. And in the top right as the green Protoss Chief in Tough. Also building a pylon, we have Dreamer. Representing Ash Clan.
Do you know what country LML's from by any chance? Is he American or European?
I believe he is American, but actually he might be German. I think he actually is German.
I was thinking maybe German because Red is a German clan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's German.
Dreamer is Russian. He's one of the admins for the Brood Warrior G's tournaments.
Yeah, Dreamer's a solid player. I've observed a number of his games, and sometimes you can tell he's a little tired when he's playing, but even if he's playing tired, he still usually comes through.
How can you tell the difference between tired or high or drunk?
I think they're the same. Tired, drunk, and high. I would say they're the same.
These days the lines are pretty blurry between those things.
Yeah.
We have LML scouting in the wrong direction. Dreamer gonna be scouting on his first scout.
Hey, Dreamer's in the chat. Join our Discord and cast with us if you want, man.
Yeah, first scout in a mirror match is always really nice.
Oh. So you know what to do much game?
Both players swiftly spamming their keyboards, getting high APM, gathering minerals. Both players opening pretty standard. Core's going to be finishing on both sides. Looks pretty mirrored at the moment. We'll see who's going to be getting range first, who's going to be getting a robo, second or third gates, who's looking to expand. Dreamer getting his range right when the core finishes. LML has not got his range yet. He might be throwing down his robo. We're just lagging a little behind. There's his range has begun.
You gotta drag him first.
And curious to see if you know, Dreamer's gonna play on his positional advantage on the map. He, you know, him pressuring LML in the bottom position, he can just dive his shuttle back and forth in between the main when he's right on the outside of his base. It's easier for green Protoss to dive in. And it's kind of something interesting I've been noticing more and more in pro games. I observed this in BSL quite a bit. Was that 3-player map? Reap the Storm. There's a couple times where was it DeWalt and Bonnet? Yeah, in the finals. Was it Bonnet just dove right in DeWalt's base when he was standing right outside, because it was like a lot easier for him to do that. And I don't know, I've been noticing the additional differences in maps when they're symmetrical like that or whatever. We'll going down for LML. Dreamer's sitting outside of his base. Looks like he's got a second gateway about to finish. Range not complete for each player yet.
So they're both playing pretty safe, these two games, right?
Each player showing respect for the other. Not being super crazy. We're going to see 3 Dragoons versus 3 Dragoons here in a second. Dreamer getting the first couple shots on that Dragoon on the left. Really bruising that real nice. No expansions yet from any players. Robotics halfway done for Dreamer. Also about to finish there for LML.
Are they just mirroring the builds?
Kind of looks like that, but LML is going for a quicker Nexus. We don't see a Nexus from Dreamer yet, so he might be going for more of a unit-heavy attack like last game, where there's a certain window. If you don't expand and your opponent expands, expanding player basically has to defend through and basically just like defend the other player's attack and he wins. But there's a certain window where the player with one base will have enough units to just roll over the other player, and that's kind of what we saw last game there for a second. There's like a 5 or 6 Dragoon difference. We see is that a shuttle or an observer coming in natural for LML, scouting that there's no natural there.
We're on the move, man. Let's go. Let's do this. Observer's gonna check out the moving army.
LML sees that there's no expansion. He knows that he needs to defend this, but it looks like LML might have enough units to defend this. He's thrown down a shield battery. Again, that's a good choice. Played out pretty well last game for it.
This kind of reminds me of the DeWalt Bonnet game, maybe game 1. Where I think
and Reaver goes down to got seven goons versus 6 goons. Each player has a Reaver. LML doesn't have a shuttle. Reavers really just takes LML's Reaver down. I don't know if LML's going to be able to defend this with his. He didn't have a shuttle with his Reaver, but good focus fire going on from LML. Another Reaver coming down the ramp. Some reinforcing Dragoons coming in from Dreamer, but
he's had some terrible.
Oh, look at that Scarab shot on the ramp. What was that? Everyone concerned about.
Is that what you call a map bug or what?
I mean,
it may be.
No, that wasn't a map bug. Reavers are buggy.
Just unlucky.
But sometimes, Reavers will do that and people will blame the map. Hashtag mapper life. But yeah, sometimes that just happens with Reavers. They can just like jump on unwalkable terrain randomly. I've seen Scarabs go over cliffs many times.
All right, so the first
game, GG.
It's gonna go to Dreamer. I feel like LML's Reaver was very unlucky. The first Scarab hit, the second one just sort of got stuck and had to go through buildings. So positioning your Reaver in a place where you know the Scarabs are just going to directly go. And then that's Reaver that was coming down the ramp, it just didn't do anything. So.
It's really unlucky for him as well. He didn't have a shuttle out to pick his Reaver up, so his first initial Reaver went down really quick, and I think it was just basically snowballed from there. Both players playing solid. LML just like not able to get his expansion up and defend it in time. Going into game 3, do you think he'll
Left the storm?
And this is Freakling's map, Reap the Storm. So we have in the 6 o'clock position, we have the Tanner than Tan Protoss. We got LML fighting for Red Clan. In the top right, as the green Protoss, we have a Dreamer representing the Ash Clan.
Funny.
Ox, I think you need a soundboard.
So for the tournament, we are using Freakling's versions of Eclipse, Sylphid, and Polypoid, because he said those versions are debugged. What has been debugged or what sort of technical issues have been addressed, I'm not sure, but
basically, you know,
they do have issues with them, right?
A bunch of maps that ASL and I can't say BSL because they actually didn't have buggy maps, but you know, even Blizzard ladder maps have a lot of bugs in them. Fighting Spirit, a lot of people know that the 12 o'clock third base ramp has a vortex on it. Also, the bottom left main base also has a vortex on it.
And people have just learned to play around them.
And people have just learned to play around them. They continue to use them in pro leagues, not debugged as far as I know.
They're wonderful maps, you know? Like, I don't mean to take any shots
no,
at
no,
them.
no,
What
absolutely.
I wish was that Freakling had a bigger role.
The thing is, bugs aren't really an issue that much in maps until they are a major issue, you know, until a map specifically has a battle in that area and something happens, then people will notice that something's going on, you know.
Like, it'd be awesome if Blizzard hired Freakling to, you know, debug or fix technical issues. I know that that's never going to happen, but here you have a resource that you can draw on.
It'd be cool if Frost Giant hired Freakling.
Because it's not an easy thing, I don't think. It's not that mappers are aware of a lot of bugs and issues. I think, this is my guess. And they just don't want to fix it. It's just the technical knowledge that you need is pretty high. And Freakling has spent hundreds of hours, maybe thousands. It must be thousands, right? Because he's been mapping for over a decade.
It's not easy to just like open up the map editor and understand what's going on. I want to see that. I didn't know
he's been doing it consistently for over a decade, right?
I didn't know about so much stuff in the map editor until the STPL map contest, and Freakling was like, "Oh, this is a ramp vortex," or like, "This is why minerals don't mine efficiently."
So why can't they make like a automatic map debugging tool?
I've asked that question as well.
I mean, why can't they add 2 versus 2 ladder? But anyway, in this awesome Protoss versus Protoss we're having, we got 2-gate versus 2-gate right now. Haven't seen any Cyber come up from LML. Looks like we're gonna have some hot Zealot versus Zealot touching action. It's a Cybernetic support going down from Dreamer. No Cyber from LML yet. And I hope these Zealots are wearing their masks because COVID is hot in the space scene right now.
Hot, hot, hot.
Ah, I see what you did there.
No. 3 Zealots versus 3 Zealots, but LML getting a great first couple hits on 1 Zealot. Also with the probably positional advantage, might be having a little high ground advantage here. Nice little probe drill there from Dreamer. That was cute, but Dreamer coming up on the...
Getting the hell out of here, man.
Yeah, he lost a couple of his buddies.
To answer your question, is this Discord? I believe the map editor program is not made by Blizzard. It's made by a third party, a gentleman whose name I forget. And I don't know if that's actually possible to have an automatic debugger thing. It has to be done manually, and you need to have the technical knowledge. to be able to
Okay.
identify it and fix it. And there's things about maps that I've learned that if you change one aspect, other aspects of the map change. So it's not as easy as...
LML's Zealot only getting one probe in there.
You got
Does
that probe
manage to
in
get a
there,
probe. Gets the scouting of Dreamer's name. Picking maps is really hard.
But so fruitful, my friend. The possibilities are endless. Let's do this. 6 Zealots.
And
I
LML
just,
running
fuck this,
up
I'm
the
coming
ramp with a bunch of Zealots. Definitely going to be able to break through this. The Dreamer's micro going to be able to get enough hot shots off on these Zealots. Probably more goons popping out soon. These Zealots are just surrounding the goons. This has to be enough for
Those 2
You
goons
have
that
to be
just
able to
came out,
end
they're
this.
like, what the hell did I just get myself into?
Basically, how many probes is he going to lose? He's lost 1 probe on this attack. And 1 Dragoon and 1 Zealot.
That's
So, LML definitely coming up with the short straw in that poll.
Did this buy white time?
Wait,
Or was that
is
a waste?
LML is LML building a Citadel right now? Is it a Citadel or a Robo? Okay, it's a Robo. 3 gates and a Robo coming up from LML.
Yeah, I'm
Range
sorry, I
finishing
closed
Sigma.
down the production panel and I tried to close down the unit panel. I don't know if that annoys people, but I just
Unit
figured
panel.
more StarCraft screen.
Unit panel is nice to open up when you're clicking on something, I suppose. But I don't know. Either way, we got
In a live match, the unit panel is actually smaller, I noticed. In a replay, it takes up the whole bottom screen.
basically mirrored plays coming up from the players right now. Dreamer's got that shield battery in his main. It's really interesting to see shield batteries being used these days in Brood War. Back in 2010, I don't think anyone ever made them.
Shout out to Bakuru, who's in the chat, and whose show match we are showing after this.
Yeah, Baku!
In single player, I'm sorry if you think the mini-map is going to lag. I'm just concerned about hosting the replays on BattleNet.
But if you're the only one in the replays, why does it matter?
If I did it on... Is there a lag with the whole mini-map thing?
There is, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I could do that, yeah, that's not a problem. I mean, people are welcome to join it, but I've been trying to test out the screen share on Discord.
No, I think it'd be fine if you just make the map by yourself and then on BNet, because the mini map does lag a little bit. You can really tell on the stream.
That's really interesting.
I mean, you can see it. I would say it's got like a low frames per second.
Yep.
But it's not actually laggy in the sense that it's not updated. It just refreshes slowly.
It doesn't update very well, so you're not going to be able to see like a shuttle drop very easily.
I love how there are people paying attention to the mini-map, which is about, what, 5% of the screen? I'm still learning how to...
Well, the thing is, a lot of observers tend to miss things on the mini map, so it's easy to kind of keep an eye on it.
Yeah, that would be me.
You're not the only one.
I'm probably the worst, but...
See, he's going for a high ground advantage. If this was a Star Wars game, it would already be over.
So this is a pretty strong build from White.
Why everyone keeps silent?
I'm just waiting for this Dragoon rush.
Just
Well, my
having
friends,
good for LML now, I think.
the
Dreamer
honor.
can have his lecture base.
Have the honor of Caster Muse casting for us.
No, I'm not casting because I know my English is not super fast. I can
You-
like something, but it's hard to speak or listening to me. So I can only 20% understand in this conversation.
You still have Godly, Observer, and Caster status. And you're part of the foreign community, which is great. So how are these trades? I think that was pretty good for Dreamer, right? Didn't he have less units, but
Oh, leader.
2 Reavers? Or was that kind of even? Pro count is kind of similar, supply count is similar, but White has an expansion.
But I think LML can have also have levers, and he has a nature base. Dreamer have to get nature base too, I think.
I think we need to get Casamuse in a show match too. I think I asked you what race you played, and did you say Zerg?
My race?
Yeah, you play StarCraft, don't you?
Sometimes, but for almost I played 2 versus 2 to play.
Do you play a race or do you play all of them?
My main race is jug for 2v2.
I guess.
I don't play one versus because it makes me so stressful.
Then maybe we can try to set up a 2v2. Caster Muse and Fuji versus maybe 2 people from
Seriously?
IRK or another clan.
I like 2-on-2. I have returned.
Your Soul clan, so you need somebody from your Minerals clan.
Oh, me and my buddy Gas will play against you guys.
Did you make
I
him
don't-
up or is there somebody really make this?
I made him up.
No.
Hey, why you suck? You want a Smurf?
It'd have to be balanced too, so Fuji and CM don't play as often.
See,
No,
LML
no.
pushing out. LML actually holding the high ground, but Dreamer gonna be pushing from the backside. LML in a good position here with a good concave. Oh, one Reaver goes down for Dreamer. Second Reaver goes down for Dreamer. LML has 2
That's not good. Oh no!
Wow.
Oh,
Oof.
LML is gonna be taking this battle. The Green Cross does have an observer on top. Both players do have expansion. Or Dreamer
I
throws
thought
an
Dreamer was
expansion.
going to take that. I'm
GG.
surprised.
Just like that, the game's over. Might have been a little premature there, but
Welcome, why you suck?
maybe not because he knew that his opponent had the expansion for quite some time. Maybe he thought the boss's window.
who was asking me to Smurf just a second ago?
That would
was
be
me.
Minerals.
You wanna
Okay.
play on
Yeah, I mean, it won't be my first. I
a
got you.
Smurf account name called
They'll
Gas?
They'll never know.
Yeah, Gas and Minerals versus Caster Muse and
Well, if Fuji and CM are down, I think it would be cool to find 2 people maybe from IRK or another team that are of the same like rank. Because
How about
Fuji
me
and
and you,
CM
Alex?
don't play often.
you say I suck?
I don't think it's good idea because my English in game is too. I think not good. So it's hard to communicate with Fiskra, I think.
So you communicate a lot in your 2v2 games?
I think he. I don't think he's asking to cast during while playing, but
No, it wouldn't be any casting. It would just be a 2v2 soul managers owner versus. Yeah, so from IRK, I'd probably have to find like an owner like Aggie or something. And anyways, it's an idea, but the goal would be to make it really balanced. We'd have to find 2 people who aren't very active and don't play that much because, you know, Fuji and CM aren't players. So back to the game. This is game 4 on Eclipse.
Game 4 in our PvP show match.
I believe it's 2-1 for. Is LML up? 1 point? Do we know? Well, somebody's winning, okay? Somebody's got a match point to earn.
Imba versus Imba.
Shout out to Pato. I want to thank him a lot for observing and streaming for us all those weeks. And I hope he joins us to cast sometime. If you're listening to this, we got a little party in our voice channel. Join the OpenCast Discord server.
Party in our pants.
I'm considering for my lunch. It's lunchtime in South Korea.
Well, bon appetit.
Oh.
The standard game from our fellow Protoss players. On this awesome standard map Eclipse.
Casimuse, I just wanted to thank you again for inviting all those Korean players to your Discord server. I have messaged them all, and I basically told them, because it's been very difficult for me to set up show matches between them, I just told them, you know what, if you see Ice, Disney, Art User, Scan, Yoon, just play them, and I'll compensate the winner.
You don't have to appreciate to me because it's my first chance, so I do just I did my what I had to do.
Well, you went out of your way, and I know how it is because you got a lot going on, and to explain to players, you know, what we're doing and stuff, it's. So I'm just saying your effort wasn't for nothing. I'm hoping they will play each other. So I basically said play anyone. You know, play Disney, Ice, Art User, play Yangachi, and I'll compensate you. So I'm waiting for them to do that. They all said yes.
I think it's awesome to do that.
Stop being Kumena Ox, let's trash talk.
Look at Zealot.
See a Zealot coming in, getting 1 probe, getting a 2nd probe, going and diving in on a 3rd, and doesn't get the 3rd. Oh, he gets the 3rd probe. 4th probe goes. Wait, no, that was 3 probes.
3 is good.
3 is good. 3 is great.
3 is great.
Doesn't feel good to lose 3 probes. Dreamer's probe does. Scouting probe does survive. And Dreamer just canceled a building in his main. Is that
I
a
think
Citadel?
that was a. Do we know what
I don't
that
know.
was?
I don't know what he just canceled. Was that a Citadel or a Robo?
Cancel something.
For the Nexus.
It was a robo.
Cancels for the Nexus.
Well, I had clicked on this robo here, so I'm wondering if that's maybe what you saw, you suck. But maybe you noticed that it was a robo.
Well, maybe.
But we see Dreamer going for the economic advantage this time. The last 2 games we've seen that LML couldn't take his Nexus faster, so LML might be going for stronger unit push this time. But we see just 1 gate robo coming up. The support blade about to finish, range about to be done. And Dreamer just sitting back with a couple Dragoons, not allowing any scouts to come in. 2 gates coming up.
So for anyone wondering why we don't have a score chart yet, I am waiting for our main graphics person to create it, and then I will try to incorporate it if I don't mess everything up. For now, the score is 2-1 for someone. Do we know who's winning right now or no?
See, you know,
Who won
LML
last game?
got a couple probes, so he might be winning the mind game.
Was
I think
Dreamer is definitely ahead because he has a second Nexus up and he's starting to saturate it.
who won the last game? Was it?
it's LML won the last game, so I'd
Yeah,
say
I think he's
LML
up 2-1. That's right.
Oh, did I answer the wrong question?
I knew what you were going with, Hawks.
Oh, Minnows are joking now.
Alright.
There are no right answers here. Just a crappy streamer observer.
I think you're doing fabulous.
Well, I think it's hard to stream and observe 4 people, especially because they play the game and they're really used to like the screens changing frequently. And I've been kind of trying to do it slowly a little bit, and I wonder if that's frustrating for people watching. And if it is, I'm enjoying that. Yeah, I'm not following the units with my mouse cursor. I'm trying to click on the mini-map and sort of change the frame slowly. Like, it's a little story here. The Dragoons traveling across the map.
And then you turn the page.
I see LML is getting his Nexus up, but he has 1 Reaver. Dreamer does not have a Reaver with his army yet. About the same count of units. Nice Scarab shot going off. He's going to focus fire the Reaver. The Reaver does get 2 nice shots off, and the Dragoons are definitely going to come in front for, or come up ahead for LML with his battery shield. Shield battery. What did I just say?
Battery shield?
Battery shield.
That
He said
works.
last game too, but I don't say anything.
Oh my gosh. It's been a long week. And Dreamer going in to put a little more pressure on Mr. LML with his battery shield.
Why did they build the
Coming to
shield
play
battery
now. He's too far
behind
away. He gets a nice pick off there from the running Dragoon,
Ouch.
and bam, 2 Dragoons falling at the end of that battle.
I'm not sure why this shield battery was made behind the pylon.
Maybe he didn't know how many Dragoons were coming.
Is there an advantage to building this someplace else besides
Well,
here?
if it was up front, it would have been risk.
Well, the pylon took a few Dragoon shots, so it kind of split the army for a wave of photon blasters or whatever they call them.
I think a shield battery is weaker than or has less health and shield than a pylon.
Yeah.
They go down really quickly. But we see Dreamer just backing off. Both players focusing economically right now. No crazy harassment coming out of play. We see yeah. That was exciting.
Fuji, what's your prediction?
He's not here.
Oh, did he leave?
I think he backed out for a bit.
I think.
Templar Archive coming up for Dreamer. 2 Reavers for LML, but no shuttle yet. Curious to see if any players are going for shuttle speed.
Oh, that's my cue, isn't it?
No shuttle speed coming up yet that we've seen. But we see Dreamer is going for +1 attack from the Forge. I would assume it's +1. And LML moving across the map with 2 Reavers and a shuttle. Green Protoss just sitting back, sends an observer and a scouting zealot out.
Let us meet in the middle of the map.
Zealot getting sniped. Dreamer getting the full scout off, seeing what is coming. I haven't seen any Reavers yet from Dreamer, but he does snipe. He snipes the observer, which is crucial because he has for archive, and he's probably going for DTs. So he's not going to push back with the Reaver. He's going to push back with the DTs. Is LML going to respawn? First D25 goes down. 2 Reavers going to drop. Running in focus firing the first Reaver. First Reaver goes down. Second Reaver getting focus fired in the back by the DT, and it barely gets pulled up. This is a really close battle. The DT is doing a lot of damage. One Reaver running to the natural, going to be sniping the probes. Does not hit the probes. Hits the Reaver, shuttle, and Reaver goes down. I think Dreamer probably came out ahead there. He can push this whole army back with just one Dark Templar. The DT did a lot of damage. How many kills does that have? It killed, no kills. They have no kills, but that is the VIP from that battle right there. If that DT wasn't there, I think that LML probably would have pushed through a bit. Templar's coming out for green and is getting his 3rd base up. Just a little random fact for you guys. I named my dog after a StarCraft map. Her name's Azela. Anybody remembers that from the WCG back in the day?
What year was that map popular or played on?
Probably like 2007.
You know,
Yeah.
I was hoping you would say like Charmander.
No,
I think Pato knows that map.
that map concerns people, but we'll see how it plays out in the league. Anyway, LML going for a bigger economic advantage. Has a lot more Dragoons than Dreamer, but Dreamer has a couple Storms to be coming into play. Speed Zealot's also down.
Oh my god, is he gonna storm the probes?
Dreamer sees that the probes are transferring, so he knows that a 3rd base is coming up. And these are some really heavy storms coming off in these Dragoons. They're doing a lot of damage. A couple Zealots are also taking some damage. The probes are also the probes are attacking Dragoons. Dreamer's pushing LML back to his battery shield and his cannon.
To the battery shield.
To the Batmobile. I'm just gonna call him that forever.
I like how the probes
really
kind of
good
skid out
attack
and
from
join.
Dreamer. So in that attack, he saw that the probes were transferring, so he knows that 12 is there. But LML still getting pushed back. I think that 3rd base might have really dug into his economics and macro. Dreamer is just like running full force with an Archon and a couple Zealots. Another Archon coming into play. His +1 is also coming into play. Might have +2 soon if it's not finished yet. But LML will be holding this with his defender's advantage and his awesome shield battery. Slow Zealots coming down from the top of the ramp. LML gonna be cleaning this up, but some reinforcements coming in from Dreamer. Is he gonna poke again?
Poke, poke. To the battery shield.
To the battery shield. But we see, I think LML is getting good trades here. His 3rd base is still mining, and slowly his economy is going to be leaping ahead of Dreamer's. If he can hold this off, he might be coming out ahead.
I like the way the Zealots just came down. What's going on here?
I don't know, that High Templar was put in work though. Or rather, Harkon.
I guess they are High Templars.
Power overwhelming.
Oh, that was good. Go. Little surround there, not much of a micro from Dreamer. Nice little comeback from LML. More units, Dreamer.
So we see Dreamer is getting his third base up and running right now, but Dreamer's also holding the supply count advantage.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know, LML was holding this off really well, but the supply count's just completely different. Probe count as well.
Alright, is this gonna be the end? LML?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, just gonna be running through this.
There's a
And
GG, my
go.
friends.
Say that.
I want to thank again for everyone who joined to cast. Why You Suck, Minerals, Cast for Muse, and Fuji, and Is This Discord. Hopefully I didn't miss somebody.